30 minutes south of Salem on I-5 and 20 minutes east on Highway 53 sits the golf course of Mallard Creek. If you're looking for a golf fix on your way to Bandon, you could do a lot worse than Mallard Creek. This particular round was played from the white tees, which clock in around 6,000 yards. It's a 155-yard forced carry to the fairway and 270 to reach the left fairway bunker. I've never played Mallard, I went with iron, and I should have gone driver. I'll add that this was my second round of the day, walking both, and I played with no rangefinder or GPS, had never been to Mallard before, and wasn't playing with anybody else. I was guessing blind on most shots. If you can avoid a 60-foot leg putt on your first hole, I advise doing so. The second hole is a risk-reward tee shot to a drivable par 4 green. It's 200 yards to carry the hazard area. I went with iron. There's a large bunker protecting the front, and then a grass bunker long right. Google Earth has old pics that show several bunkers that have been removed or converted to grass bunkers. If you use Google Maps to get a preview of the course, it looks to be a lot more current. I did this on purpose so I could show you the grass bunker. And now I show off my camera skills. And again with the camera skills. The third is a very short par 3, pretty straightforward, a single bunker guarding the front, plenty of room to miss long and long right. On the par 4 fourth, there's a generous landing zone that begins to narrow at about 260 yards out. It's 230 yards to reach the pond on the right. I don't know what it was to blow past all of that and go into the hazard area, but that's what I did. You can see the greenside bunker is very large, but also very shallow, so it's a good miss. Number 5, I think, is the signature hole at Mallard Creek, and your job is just to split the uprights off the tee. From there, it's a relatively straightforward par 4. But if you're playing the back tees, your look from the tee box is a little more intimidating. There's another large greenside bunker left, but there is some room to miss right. The greens in general are very large at Mallard, so you really have a lot of room to play. The par 5-6 is one of the first sweeping doglegs of many at Mallard Creek. It's 210 to carry the bunker, plus another 20 yards to reach the fairway on the other side of it. There's a lot of fairway past that bunker, so you can really be as aggressive as you want taking on that corner. The same goes for the second shot. I wasn't aware of this, but I could have gone right over the top of that tree with plenty of room to curve it around and land in front of the green. So in hindsight, and when I play it again the next time, I think this is a go for it in 2 situation. Number 7 is a generous heart-shaped green, short 141-yard par 3 from the whites. The front bunker on the right shouldn't really be in play. There's some bailout to the right, but you just hit the damn green. Pretty routine par. Number 8 is a 350-yard par 4 dogleg right. It's almost a horseshoe shape. 240 to carry the dogleg and 295 to the center of the green from the tee. I had no idea, but this was also my second round of the day, walking both, and I was exhausted if you couldn't tell. But if you're going to go for the green from the tee box, the aim point to go for is the gap between the tall fir trees as you look to your right. This is also one of the greens that has room to miss all around it. So if you are an accurate driver of the ball and you can make that 240 carry no problem over the corner, I would say go for it. The 9th is another dogleg left. From the tee, you want to aim at the lone fir over the dogleg. I completely missed it. The rough up the right has a brook running through it, so you really want to avoid that. The rough up the left is actually playable. The green is relatively flat, but there is a back shelf. That's where the pin was on this day. The 10th is a short downhill dogleg right. The ideal tee shot is going to be center, center, left. I hit it left of left. This was actually my first hole on this round. I started off the back. So if things look kind of out of sequence, weather-wise, that's what's going on. You can see here there wasn't a lot of room to miss long on this green, and that's the rule generally on this course, is that the miss is going to be short on most greens. 11 is another hard dogleg right, 150 yard of forced carry off the tee. 200 yards is ideal for kind of a max landing zone and no trouble. The green is absolutely surrounded by trouble. I found this kind of trouble. Although the greens had been punched and sanded a couple of weeks before this round, everything had grown back in and they were rolling true and fast. The par 5 12th isn't long on the scorecard, but it plays a little longer because it's uphill. Don't do this. And don't follow it with this. And try to avoid this. And as long as you don't do this, you should do just fine. This isn't the high point on the course, but you do get some really amazing views from here and the 13th tee. Speaking of 13, this is a significantly downhill par 3. You have to factor the wind and club accordingly to split the trees. And now we see some more shoddy camera work. I chose this wide angle because I thought it was going to show off the view. And it is pretty, but it doesn't really work for this kind of a video. So here's my attempted save. Zoom in. After the par, it's a long walk to the top of the hill for the 14th tee, where you have sort of a blind tee shot. You can't see the green from the box. But it's 260 yards to the fir trees on the right. And from there, the fairway feeds down to the green with a bunker on the front left. There's a little bit of room to go long. But if you wedge it in like this, there's really no need. I'm going to make the 15th look a lot harder than it is. 150 yard par 3 downhill. Really just club based on what the wind is doing. Incoming. You can see there's a lot of room to miss right and right long. Just don't go left like I did. Taking my time to go through my process. The 16th is another dogleg left up over a hill. You can play to the middle of the fairway, or you can ricochet off a fir tree to the right like I did. There's a lot of room up top of that hill, so if you do hit driver, you've got a really wide landing zone. Wedging back down the hill, you don't have so much room to miss long of this green, but it is a really large green, so just get it on. What a dork. I make 17 look harder than it is. Don't do what I did. It's another long but straightforward par 4. and as long as you're not having to play it from the 10th fairway, you should do just fine. The large shallow bunker front left, it's benign, and there's room to miss long right and left. '18 is a par 5 dogleg to the left, slightly. There's internal OB down the right, so you want to aim for the lone fir tree and just slam it. The landing zone is very wide, and the rough is not overly penal on this side of the fairway. However, on the right-hand side of the fairway, there is a lot of water, and so the rough is very thick and very green. Speaking of green, it slopes back to front. The miss is short, and just keep it below the hole. The staff at Mallard Creek was incredibly friendly. The pro shop was fully stocked with gear, swag, and snacks. There's a nice tap list, many canned bottled options from pop, beer, wine, cider, and seltzers, as well as a fully stocked bar for mixed drinks. If I'd had more time, I would have stayed and enjoyed a beverage on their great patio overlooking the 9th and 18th greens. Mallard Creek is well worth the detour, and I will certainly be back. Thank you.